oops, got to find where I'm up to. Oh, am I on the right way? No, that way round. I'm going to be buried under this giant blanket for a second. Right. No, I need the yarn. It's a bit of a logistical nightmare trying to
The position you are about to open on your current trading platform.
My phone. Did I turn it off? I need to be in the chat. Okay. It's now silent. So, yeah, I need to be in the chat to read it. But I forgot to put my phone on silent. Okay, so where are we? There we are. Okay. Nearly there. Nearly there. Nearly there. Right. Yarn's over there. Hooks over there. Scissors are over there. Glasses if I need them. Light is on. Nearly ready to go. Oh, hang on. I'm not in the chat. What are we doing? Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got Linda, Charlotte, Cal, Kerry Ann, Diamond Smiles, Sam, Connie, and Pamela. Hi guys, don't forget the thummies if you haven't already thummied. So I'm picking up where I left off last time. And it's getting quite big. So Gary's decided that it was quite big as it was. I'm trying not to knock my phone off because it's plugged in, and doing this I might just knock the lead. So he's decided it's quite long enough, but I figured when I put it on the sofa, if we were both huddled under it, it might be a case of, no, that bit comes here. No, so I'm going to just do a little bit. I'm going to finish this ball at least, and then I'll make my mind up. Lots more people coming in. Amarina, hi, and Charlie. You was watching Rocksteady and you got this notification. That's what I like to hear. That's dedication for you guys. Don't forget the thumbs. I've got a nice cup of tea, courtesy of Gary, and I've got some raspberry Pepsi Max and some water, so I should be fine. We're going to have dinner after I've done this. We've just been to the doctor. Gary had to see them, and I went along. It's weird right now. I've said for a while now that doctors are scared to see us. They think we're going to kill them. Not like we're going to take a gun or anything, but, you know, our germs. And when we got there, this doctor was really paranoid about the position of her chairs, because we moved them. So I moved them so that I could kind of let Gary know what she was saying, because you can't always, especially if they're not English as a first language, can't understand them. And this one definitely wasn't. So anyway, she's got a mask on, and she straight away made us move the chairs to exactly where they were before we moved them. And she didn't take her mask off at all, apart from at one point where she went right over the end of the room, took off her mask so that there was no chance Gary misread what she said. She could lip read. Then she put it back on and came back nearer us. But she wanted my breath to fall before it got to her, you know. And the same with Gary's. We were positioned. Honestly, I was. If she'd have got a tape measure out, I wouldn't have been surprised. And she sat there with a mask on the whole time, and I thought, they really are terrified that we're going to give them something that they're going to die from, you know. It's unbelievable. And I know the medical profession know more about COVID and everything else than we do. You know, we can only go by what they tell us on TV and all that and the other. But it comes to something when, but A, yeah, they won't see you, and B, when they have to, it's like you're well, I don't know why they don't just sit there in hazmat suits, really, to be honest with you, and might get more done if they did. Hi, Raylene, good morning. And Vicky. Oh, Marina's cleaning. Catching on videos, and you got notified of the live. That's what I like to hear. So, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. So, yeah, it's a bit weird. It was a very odd thing, you know. It's crazy. When we all sit and chat now and we're all back to normal, and there these doctors treating it as if it's the height of the pandemic and we're all to be feared, that we're just murderers waiting to get them with our breath. Oh well, I've got to drink my tea before it gets cold, so I'll just concentrate on you guys for a bit. That went cold really quick. It is quite cold in here now. It was hot in here earlier when I was making my videos, but so yeah. Cheers everyone, nice cup of biscuit tea. Oh, I've had a busy day. I got up late, so I've been rushing around. Vicky hasn't listened to me in a while, but you like Gary's blanket. Well, I'm glad you've joined us. I haven't really done that. You know, I have to say that since I've been doing the blanket lives, I've been doing my live streams, but before that, I'd really tailed off on them. Used to do a lot in the beginning, but now there's so many people, like the World and his wife is doing live streams and trying to find a little bit to get in there and do them. And I noticed that someone was already on, so you can't really odds it. You have to clash. There's no other way sometimes. I'm going to guzzle. I do apologise ahead of time. But I do have other drinks. So it's not like, I hate having a moustache, you know, when you've had a drink. How much of this ball left? I don't want to drop my hook. I think I'll get round at least once. I might just carry on and do the whole thing and just make it as big as it'll get. Probably the best way. This is the way. I don't normally like doing that in front of people. When I'm doing my chats in the morning, I usually pause it. Oh, thanks guys for flushing. How nice. It's because it's a very small bungalow and the door is open, and because it's just us two, he doesn't shut the door. So yeah, lovely sounds for the live stream. It just obviously doesn't think about it. It'll sniff really loud in a minute, or hopefully not Trump, you know, or anything like that, but he doesn't think about the kind of noises he makes when I'm live. It's quite funny when you think about it. I look really red and shiny, but I did put a little bit of powder on just to make sure I wasn't going to be. And here I am, like a beacon. What's going on there? Oh, I paused the ad. Never mind. But it's not just you two now, Gary. But it's not just you two now, Gary. What? I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe I've took that out of context in the time, if you know what I mean. I don't know. So Mike sent me a little song earlier. Metallica's got a new song, and he sent it to me, and it's very good. It's one of the loud ones, you know. Gary went, "Oh, that's a bit of a racket." He likes the mild ones, you know, the kind of more melodic ones. But when it comes to the raucous ones, he's like, "Oh, a bit noisy." About the open door and sounds. Oh yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, it isn't just the world can hear. Bless him. Hopefully he won't belch or fart or swear. That would be the worst one, if he trips over the cat and swears. I had a bit of a disaster earlier. I was out in the Yana van packing up my orders for my shop, which if you haven't found already is hobbyrocks.co.uk. And I was packing up my orders ready to go. I'd show them to you, but I took them out. And because they're all in new packaging, they all look cute. So yeah, I was packing them up, and when I came in, Gary said, "Oh, something crashed, something fell over." And I went, "Oh." He said, "I went out into the conservatory and I couldn't see anything." He said, "So is there anything in like in here?" And I went, "No." Well, it turns out that one of these cubey things, the only one that was left in the bedroom, fell off the wall. and made a complete mess. So I sort of like walked away and said, I've done enough sorting out, because I was sorting out all the yarn. I've done enough sorting out, I'll do that later. So I've still got that to tackle, unfortunately. But the reason it fell off the wall is because it used to have one underneath it, supporting it. But that one's been taken, leaving the one on the wall. But obviously, the screws were not big enough. And so it fell off the wall, which is annoying. So what are you all working on? Are you all busy, busy, busy? I've got this going on at the moment. I still haven't done the coloured border on that blanket. I need to sort out my square. I did a tutorial recently for a spiral. I want to make some placemats and some coasters for the kitchen. Or maybe even for the garden. That would be cool when we have our little get together in the spring. If we have those out there, that would be really good. Because I've got a little coffee table on my decking that I could make it for. I think they look quite nice. Especially if I did my egg chair in the same yarn. Well, now I'm thinking, aren't I? Thinking is all I ever get round to doing. Hi Sarah. You're listening at work. Thank you very much. Don't forget the thumbie. And Joe, hi. Working on an ombre handbag, beach bag. That sounds cool. See, that's another thing I want to do. Finish off some of the bags that I started on. And the stool. But yeah, when I've got this one done, I will do some more whips. I might not get to do them all on lives because a lot of them are sewing or joining, you know, and that would be a bit difficult to do on a live stream. So I probably won't get to do that. I've been really thirsty all day. It's a sure sign that the diet's working, because it mimics, sounds so unhealthy, it mimics diabetes. So one of the symptoms of diabetes is to have a like unquenchable evil thirst, and that's kind of how I am at the moment. So when that happens, you think, oh well, at least I know the diet's working. And the fact that I weigh less is another way knowing that the diet's working. But yeah, awful thirst on me. And Gary is doing something out there that sounds like the kettle, but must be for another reason. He's just made that tea. He's not going to do another one. Not just yet. Oh, so it's pretty gloomy out still. You know, it's cold. Well, it's not as cold as yesterday. That was pretty evil yesterday, I must admit. I actually got my big coat out yesterday when we went to the cinema. But today I can wear my little furry collar cardigan that I've got, and I'm okay. But yesterday was bitter, and it was windier. But we went to see Luther yesterday at the cinema. Absolutely brilliant. I really, really recommend that to anyone. Great film. And there's a couple of little carrots in there. Hint towards the next big role, maybe, for Idris. Yeah. So, oh, it was great. It's wonder I don't have everything chipped, really, with our Gaza. So what are you all drinking? Have you all got a nice drink at the ready? I've got down to the Pepsi Max now. Although it is lovely. I don't mind that. I'm not looking forward to having to sort the bedroom out. I have to sort more than just that corner out, though. There's more to do. Cup of tea and a Christmas tree. Oh, making brekkie. Making brekkie. Diet Mountain Dew. I like Mountain Dew. It's nice. Sounds like tea. No, it doesn't. Sounds like gravy. He's making soup for himself, I think. See what I mean? It's so noisy. I was talking to Jan Carruthers about this, because I if someone's in, I find it hard to do a tutorial or a live stream or any videos at all. And Gary always says, I'll be really quiet. You won't even know I'm here. That's his idea of being really quiet and we don't know he's there. And I said, well, you know, it's not just the moving around, it's the cough every now and then, the, you know, the sniffing on camera, flushing of the toilet, stirring crazily of throwing the spoon in the sink. Oh, is this more tea? Thank you. Thanks, darling. Say hello, Gary.
Hello, Gary.
I knew he'd say that. Waiting for the dishwasher to stop so you can make tea. Hi, Hannison. I'm doing fine. How are you? Oh, here comes Gary.
Hello. You all right? Yeah.
Gary needs adult supervision. He does. Definitely does. That is being quiet. That's Gary's quiet, see. That is why I couldn't get on and do a tutorial or anything with him around. So thankfully now I have the yarn van. That won't be a problem. At the moment it's pretty chilly out there though. I went, but he bought me 2 little heaters. They're only tiny, but they take the edge off. That's all I really need because, you know me, I get hot quick. So I went out there earlier and I was packing up my orders. Excuse me, these fibres are getting up my nose again. So I went out there earlier to do that. And by the time I had a cardigan, by the time I was due to come in, cardigan was off and I was quite warm. So I can always do my tutorials and opens with me and all the things that I need quiet for out there. But yeah, it's a bit chilly at the moment. Warm weather is coming, thank goodness. Oh, I still can't believe it. Ah, oh, thanks, Amarina. Don't say that, it'll get big-headed enough as it is. He's still at it, isn't he? It was such a noise. He is a bit of a noise on legs, I have to say. He does everything noisily. That's Gary's quiet. No, he'll sit down soon and probably watch The Chase if it's on, or do his jigsaw puzzle or something. But yeah, we've already got a cooked chicken, so that's what we're having for dinner. Although he wanted sausage, and I said, look, I don't really want you to have sausages because I had them yesterday and I don't want to get them today. So I don't know. He may still have it. We'll have to see. I can't get over the noises. Throwing spoons around. He might sit down soon. It's so embarrassing. But at least he brought tea, guys. That's all, you know. That's good. That's the good bit. More tea. This is very monotonous, this blanket. I have to say, it's good to watch TV with, though, because you just keep going and it doesn't matter. Having said that, I just put my hook in the wrong place, but I don't normally. Let's see. I saw some chat come up. Sausages! Hi, Gifson. Welcome. Stitch is taking forever. What stitch are you doing? This is taking forever too. It's rather... I'm getting to the corner, so I'm going to reposition it a little bit. There we go. I'm leaning on the... Tucked up now. Untucked. Oh. Yeah, so we had a bit of an odd doctor, I have to say. Gary had been getting some pins and needles in his hand, so he decided to go check it out. But he hadn't got any other symptoms, so she's going to test him for his B12. Let's go for a blood test, see if that's, you know, the problem. But it's not circulation. It's nothing to do with heart or anything like that, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I think he just plays on his iPad too much. I get bad circulation if I type or if I crochet. Sometimes I get cold hands and everything else. You're from India and you're working as a teacher. Oh, well done. That's cool. Gorilla losing the kitchen. You've got Gary, well done. I do. Linen stitch. I like that one. Single crochet mesh. Yeah, very nice. I've got to fibres up my nose. Oh, goodness gracious. I got acrylic thinking it wouldn't happen. But no, it does because it's fluffy. Well, fuzzy, should I say, not fluffy. But I go through this phase of it driving me absolutely bandy, and then it just suddenly stops. Hopefully they're now in the tissue. All those fibres. I've got a red nose now. Oh, it'd be great for Red Nose Day. But so next cinema run, I don't know what we're going to see. We wanted to see The Fabelmans, but it came off really quick. Probably half term because of all the kids' films that were out. But Creed 3 looks good. And there was another one. What was it? And I messaged, oh, Scream. There's a new Scream movie if you like horrors. It did look very jumpy. I know Mike will love that. He and Gemma do like a bit of a horror film. Paul hates horror films. He's a bit like me. And he would love Luther. So I messaged him, go to see it. You will love it. But they want to go see Creed. Your auntie is the same. The tablet too. Oh, so people I used to work with, when I worked at the ambulance service, a lot of them had B12 deficiency. And then on another job that I went to, they had some of the women had it. And they had to have injections for theirs. So I didn't really tell him too much about that because they weren't particularly pleasant. And I didn't think he'd like it. But although, you know, it's usually me that is a bit scared of needles, to be honest with you. But yeah, so that might be the problem, but we just have to see. But it was so funny, like this, watching this doctor think of us as potential kind of carriers of death. Yeah, you're in the wrong profession, I thought, dear. You know. Sitting there like the harbinger of death in her surgery. Crazy, really. I knew that was the reason, because when they say, oh, yeah, NHS is in crisis, you can't get an appointment for the doctor, it is nothing to do with that. It is to do with the fact that they don't want to see us. They don't want to catch anything that we might have that could potentially kill them. I've known it all along because it never really recovered from lockdown. And there's a little doggy next door. Don't you hear the woofing? Let's have a little check. I might be up to date. I am. Right, I'm going to put the tea on my fabulous coaster that Angel got me, because that will take time to cool down. Although in here it might not. Oh, so yeah, kind of waiting for an order. But I've got a notification come through that I had some duties to pay on it. And I was a bit annoyed about that because it wasn't like a really expensive order, but I had to pay £67 for the privilege of it coming into this country from wherever it was. And I thought, you know, last time that happened, I said, oh, I won't order from them again. But everything I bought from them sold. And I just kept thinking, oh, maybe I will do another one. But I didn't do a very expensive one. So it kind of, I suppose, if I'd ordered more, it would have evened out a little bit more, you know. But on the plus side, I think I found a wholesaler that I can get those things over here. I'll have to check out they messaged me earlier and I'd given up thinking that they were going to reply, because you know, I mean, I messaged them a while ago, but they finally got back to me with and they said that they've enclosed details and price lists and everything else. So hopefully they do the things I'm wanting. If that's the case, all good fun. And also it's different yarn. So I already do in my shop King Cole, Stylecraft, Serdar, Signet, lots of other brands I've probably forgotten, Alice and Papatia and a few others, Retwist. But now I'll have some new ones as well, which is fabulous. So recently in my shop I put up some, for across the pond, I put up some So Crafty, some of the Aldi yarn bundles, and I put those up, and those are the colours that you can see here. Not all of them, because there's too many to fit there. But I haven't got anywhere to put them out there in the yarn van yet. I need to sort that out. So I'm going to take a couple of days where I just blitz the yarn van. As soon as, you know, I've got the time, I will get out there and do it. And I'm going to have to throw stuff away and be a little bit more kind of, see, that's my trouble. I'm not a hoarder. I just can't throw stuff out that might be useful. But I'm going to have to just say, no, you've not used it today. You're not going to use it ever. If you haven't used it by now, bin it. And we do have a tip run that we've got to do because we've got massive packaging. I bought Hoover. And well, I say a vacuum cleaner because if I say Hoover, people think it's a Hoover, you know, by that company. It's not. So yeah, I'll have to get rid of that. What is everybody's least favourite yarn? Least favourite. Well, sadly, my least favourite was one that I ordered and I thought it would be brilliant because when I was a child it was. And I really liked the yarn, and when I saw that the company had been resurrected, I thought, yay, we can get emu yarn again now, because the Knitting Network bought it and started selling it as their own. And when I got it, I made something with it, and it was just driving me absolutely mad because it split every 5 seconds, and it had a very cotton wool feel to it, rather than that sheen that yarn has, where it slips lovely on the hook. It wasn't like that, and it split all the time, and I thought I won't be buying this ever again. You don't like thin yarn? No, I don't really like thin yarn. It's not that I don't like it, it's just that my eyesight when I was younger was great for using like really thin yarn and making fine projects, but now you know, DK is kind of the thinnest that I use. And it's quite interesting that since I've been going in live streams and looking at other people on the internet and finding that over across the pond, the main yarn that you use is Aran to us, a 4-weight. And when people talk about DK, they go, I don't like really thin yarns. And you think, DK is not thin? I can remember when I was younger using 3-ply and 4-ply and thinking of DK as quite thick. It's not as thick as chunky, but thick. But it's not. You have a love-hate relationship with roving. You don't like Starcraft Bambino? Red Heart Super Saver Christmas Blend. Bleh. A lot of the Christmas blends are not as nice as you think they're going to be in any brand, but because we've never really had Red Heart Super Saver in this country until kind of now, I mean, I can get it at the wholesaler. I don't stock it, but the only Red Heart that I've ever used and really, really loved was Unforgettable. But that is very similar to Signet Boho Spirit. So Obviously, I'd never buy it because it's expensive, but Signet Boho Spirit isn't. And I can show you how identical they are because I do have. Where is it? Bear with me a second. Oopsie. Oh, it was there. Look, there it is. Come here. Come to Mama. Right, I'm coming back. Hello. What was that? Bag fell on the floor. This, identical to Signet Boho Spirit in that colour. I can't remember what it's called. Harmony. Signet Boho Spirit. I almost took this in the Yarnavan thinking it was, and I had to bring this one ball back because it isn't. It is Red Heart Super Saver. No, Red Heart Unforgettable, which has been discontinued. So if you want to get your hands on Red Heart Unforgettable and you can't anymore, then pop over to www.hobbyrocks.co.uk and get Signet Boho Spirit because it is identical. It's the same stuff. It really is. It is the same colour, the same everything. And they are beautiful. I love them. So, and they're very, Signet are a really good price wise. You know what I mean? They don't rip you off. I mean, they've got some really decent yarns now. They're not all budget anymore. Keep splitting. The Bambino. Good job I didn't stock that then, because I could do. But holy crappy-oly. It's that emu. Don't go near it. Ugh. Awful. And the trouble is I've got loads. I haven't got loads, but I bought enough to make a few blankets with and different colours, yarn packs, and I wish I'd just bought one or two, try it out, and then if you don't like it, you don't have to have any more. But I've got all this blessed emu that I bought to make blankets for the kids, and I'm going to have to just bite the bullet and make them, get rid of it, which is a pain. But I'll never buy another ball of that as long as I live. Awful. But see, the yarns from my childhood, it was one of them, and it was a good yarn. Obviously, it's nothing like it now. But Peter Pan is the one that I kind of remember using the most. Wendy, and I stock all of those. Is that a knot? No. It's a bit of roving, I guess. I don't know. But I know what you mean about roving yarns. Do you remember I made a wrap some time ago? It was pink, and it was made from the Northern Lights, James C. Brett Northern Lights. I absolutely loved that yarn. They discontinued it, and I've got quite a lot of it. Gary bought me some. Back then I didn't really have much, you know, I didn't sort of have a shop or anything, and he bought me for Christmas quite a bit of it. I had pink, I had purple, well, kind of lilac and purples and grey. It lives here. It's down about here somewhere in these cakes here. But because I know I'll never get another ball, I'm a bit, you know, it's like that thing is like if I use it, I won't ever have it. So the trouble is, if it just sits there, it's an ornament. So I should really make something with it. I should really make something with all of it. Really. I don't really want my yarn to outlast me. So I need to get cracking on making stuff and stop being so lazy or procrastinating about it all. You threw it out. I find it hard to throw yarn out. Even that emu, I don't like it. Really don't like it. But I can't throw it out. It's yarn. I love Stylecraft yarn. I have to say, I've never used Bambino, but the Stylecraft the Cabaret was one of my favourite yarns, and I've made a few scarves with it and It's my favourite scarf. I wear it all the time. I made it in underwater rainbow. Funny enough, one of the orders that I've got to post off is underwater rainbow. Somebody ordered it. In fact, 2 of the orders I've got to post off are Stylecraft Cabaret. And isn't it weird though? Last week, when I had orders to post off, they were both for opium. And that a couple of times I've had that where and look, both people order the same sort of yarn, and then all of a sudden people wanted a more, and I seem to have like a couple of sort of parcels of a more go out, and now it's happened again with Starcraft Cabaret, which is, it's weird how it goes in those. And it wasn't like they were neighbours or anything. One was in Australia and the other one was in like Canada or something. It was just kind of weird that I thought, is there a crochet along going on that I've not been privy to or something? Quick slurp. Oh, I do love that. I used to really love the Pepsi Max Cherry, but now raspberry's where it's at. I've got to have the raspberry. But you know when they very first brought out Coke Cherry, the Coke Diet Cherry reminded me of fizzy prune juice, and I couldn't get enough of it. I was addicted to it. I don't know what they put in it, but I was absolutely addicted. And the pub at the very top of our, like when we get to our little town, used to be mine and Gary's local. We used to go in there all the time. And if I wasn't having an alcoholic drink, well, I don't drink anymore. Only since I've had the cancer, I don't drink anymore. Not that that caused it, because I didn't drink much in the first place. I was usually the driver. But on the odd occasion, I'd have chocolate Baileys or something in there, quite something yummy. But most of the time, it was, it was diet cherry Coke. And I'd drink loads of them. I think, well, now I'm going to be really wired and I won't be able to sleep. But I always managed it somehow. Tonk out. We used to go in the pub a lot, but it was very loud in there. Hi, little sis. And all fellow fibre freaks. Don't forget to thumb. For anyone who hasn't thummied. So I'm busy in a way, still doing this blanket. Wonder if I'll ever finish it. Well, I'm almost, actually. I mean, Gary was quite happy with it as it was, but which surprised me. I thought he'd say no, needs to be bigger. But obviously if I make it too big, then place to keep it is going to be a bit of a problem. Where can you, where will it live? It'll need a house of its own. But I think as much as I like this yarn, the way it looks, I'll be glad that I don't have to use it anymore. Because it is fibery, and I do get it up my nose a little bit. Although it, see what I mean? It's stopped now. Just have this little flurry of it. Bath time. Okay, well thanks for watching. Thanks for coming in. Have a good splish splash. I had a really nice one yesterday with bath bombs. We do every Christmas we buy each other quite a lot of bath bombs, and we'd used all Gary's, and he said, oh no, we're out of bath bombs. And I said, no, we're not. Look, I got all mine. So I put mine in the bathroom, and we still have a few to use. Yeah. Be Mother's Day soon over here. I think it's March usually, isn't it? March, usually around the 20-something. How long have I still got 2 sides to go, I think. How much have I got left to do? It's kind of, I don't know. When I took it, after my last live stream, I grabbed the blanket and I took it out there and I said, right, Gary, is it big enough now? You have to sort of see. And we put it over him as he was sitting on the sofa. And he said, yeah, that's about right. But when it was round him, it wouldn't go completely around like up to me. So I figured it needed to be a little bit more, and it didn't go to his feet. So I thought if I finish this ball, this ball of blue, and then I've got about that much border of the dark colour, that might be it. And it'd leave me one big ball to maybe make something with. But I wouldn't have a clue as to what I could make with one ball of this yarn, because it wouldn't really be a big enough ball. I'd probably be able to make a scarf for somebody, or cushions or something. Maybe I'll make a couple of cushions, so that way we've got the blanket and the cushions matching. That might be a good idea, just for the front room. But yeah, nearly done really. Not that much to do. Hi Nana Kathleen. Can't stay. Thank you very much. Don't forget the thummy. Thanks for coming in to say hello. A hat, it would be a giant. I could make hats, but I don't know. I'll probably make, somebody did say, why don't you make cushions? So that might be a good idea, because I could edge them in the same colour. I don't think I'll make a cushion with the same stitch, although that would obviously match, but it's got these, it kind of closes. It doesn't look wholly, but for a cushion, I think it might sag, you know, might gape those, pull those holes open when you sit on them. Because I'm sitting on a cushion that is my willow square blanket cushion. And if I was to show it to you now, it looks pretty sad because my butt has squashed it so many times. It doesn't really look like lovely willow squares anymore. I could do with redoing it with something else. It did look like a really pretty cushion at one time. But yeah, if you sit on something and squash it and it gets pulled out of shape, I don't think that would look nice with this stitch, because it would in the end pull all these holes and make them elongate. Just thinking ahead. But maybe I could make the cushions out the same yarn and make them, you know, matching in some way. But I also want to make those coasters and placemats that I was talking about. I did a tutorial the other day for spiral, and I kind of wanted to do table coasters and for cups as well, you know, or glasses, coasters and placemats. Need to pull yarn out. Mustn't drop my hook. It's annoying when that happens. There's not that much space to get it. Let's have a look. What stitch am I using? What for this? This is, I call it the box granny, but some people call it the modern granny stitch. I do have a tutorial for this very blanket. So if any of my mods can pop it up, I would appreciate it. It is rectangular, and it's called I called it the box granny, I think. But because it looks like they're in a box, like little squares. See? Those dark ones pull it in to make it look like squares. And I'm going to do something else with this stitch that I really have been wanting to do for quite a long time. But I believe that there are some people who call it the modern granny, because it's not strictly speaking the same as a granny stitch, because when you do a granny, the next lot of stitches go in between, whereas these, they go on top of each other. But I've done a few different things. I did a baby box granny, and then this one. This is obviously this is chunky. It's actually American yarn. It's Premier Puzzle yarn in the colour of Enigma, and we can't get Premier Puzzle over here. You have to get it from abroad. But the reason I have this is because I did a yarn swap originally, long time ago when I first started my channel, with Glenda from Creative Grandma. And she sent me a couple of balls of it. And so I thought that would make a nice blanket. So she sent me another one that I really liked, which was the Muir Woods, another Premier yarn. And I've made myself a couple of things with that. And I had to buy extra. And I had to buy extra of this because I only had 2 balls. So I bought about three packs of 3, which were quite expensive. And then I did another yarn swap with a very lovely young lady whose name escapes me at this moment in time. And some yarn that was in that, oh, I loved it. So I made a rectangular blanket from that. But that was another, I think it was Yarn Bee. I'm not sure if it was Yarn Bee or not. But it was really lovely. And they were all blue. So most of my blankets are made with really lovely American yarn. But it's a shame we can't get this puzzle yarn over here. But there are no wholesalers that I can use to get it, unfortunately. Puzzle yarn's your favourite. It is lovely, isn't it? It does go up my nose, though. Hang on, let's go back. I've missed some people. Claptrap and Susanna. Corrupted your friend. You got him well trained. Woo woo! Look at that nice big green swatch, saying that you've been a member for 25 months. Wow. Julie, hi. Better late than never. And Lawley, just done having your morning coffee with me. Now you're with me for your lunch. That's cool. So, Julie, I didn't not answer back the mandalas because I could do with one. Funny enough, I could do with one in here really. But it's I'll measure the window. It's probably the best way. But your blanket, oh, that is gorgeous. Julie made this blanket. She sent me a picture, and it was Tunisian. And she said I had the yarn on my it was over my shoulder. Of course, I've changed the yarn scape just a bit. So I'm thinking it must be. I'll show you it in a minute if I can move, and you can agree whether it is or not. I did make a blanket with one of the mandala yarns. Gave it to Gary. It was in his car. I don't know where it went, but it was beautiful. But I think that one had a weird name, like Gnome. But the one over there is not Gnome, I don't believe. They've got odd names, some of these yarns. They really do. I will. Oh, I'll let you know what colour. Oh, don't know. The other that I could get, you know, in the Yarnavan, there are 2 other windows where I could have them, but they're much smaller. They're very small windows. And it depends if you want to make them for those windows. I don't like to be cheeky. I mean, I know you are offered and said, is there any that I would like? But I still feel a little bit cheeky. But, you know, I suppose if I had one in all the windows in the Yarnavan, that would be cool, wouldn't it? Because I've got the 2 big ones that just about fit. They fit so, well, one of them fits so snugly, I don't have to secure it. It just fits in the hole. And the other one is just kind of a little bit slanted. Hi to Grammy Tammy. Finally to watch me live instead of replay. Yay! You love all the yarn from your last Hobby Rocks order. You have to refresh my memory. What did you get? Since then, I have uploaded lots more yarn, but it's not visible everywhere. But I've see all this yarn here. That's all been uploaded, and DK as well. It's all the Aldi So Crafty yarn. I've bundled it so that they're in packs of 4. rather than do them as balls. I've done them as packs of 4. So it's a bit like when I do the Poundland bundles and things like that. I've done that as well. So that's all up there. But there will be more to come. It's just that I haven't sorted it all out. And I really do need to spend a good few days sorting out the Yarnavan. And not only sorting out the work inside of the Yarnavan, but sorting out the My Yarn side. And all of that stuff that needs to come out so that we can get more space in there, which will be brilliant. I need to be, like I said, mercenary and throw stuff away. You got the yarn. Oh yeah, you bought the yarn and some different Stylecraft yarns. They are gorgeous. Oh right, it's cooled down enough. Cheers, everyone. Might have cooled down too much. Tea break. Yeah, that's cooled down. Do love a cup of tea that's made for you by someone else. It doesn't, because I have my tea black, it does leave this line. Hello.
Hello.
Leaves a line. It's not as bad as I'm talking to them.
Oh, I'm reading the book.
Oh yeah. When do you want to have dinner?
Tomorrow.
I don't think that's true. I'm going to have to guzzle this because otherwise it's going to be cold. Oh, hello, he's
Hello.
back.
You're still there then?
Are you going to do the dinner then?
No, I'm not cooking, it's already cooked.
Yeah, no, but we could have something with it.
Just having chicken on his hand.
We need to eat our vegetables. He's very lazy these days, apart from making tea. He's cheeky, isn't he? He's popping his head in. Cheers, guys. Don't look. When I do my rocks chat, I always pause it because I don't like people seeing me gulp my tea down. But if I don't gulp my tea down, I won't be getting it. Hang on, guys. It's a sound more than anything. Guzzly. So I've got a nice mess in the bedroom to sort out. How do you decide the pattern too far into the frame? Never made a mandala, but you'd like to show. They are beautiful. Her mandalas are just gorgeous. They really are. When I do my next video out in the Yarnavan, you'll see. But I need to make blinds because it's too bright out there sometimes. With all the windows I've got, I just find it a little bright with my video in. And I like a little snug area like this. But once I've got all that stuff out that I don't need in there, I will have a little snug area. And I was so toying with the idea of buying a rocking chair. I did show you on one of my streams, the one I want. But whether I get it or not, at the moment I've got nowhere to put it. Although my office chair is now flaking. You know, the one I used to have in here. This is just a dining room chair. It's much more comfy, I would say. And then if we have people over and we need to, if the kids come for dinner or something, we can always take the chair back in. So it gets it out of the way as well, because they used to be in the front room, the spare chairs, and they was just a bit congested. But now I've got one in the bedroom using it where my dressing table is, and one in here. So it's kind of, but they're kind of fabric, so they don't look out of place. But at least they've got a function, other than just being dining room chairs. You know, they're kind of being used elsewhere. Plus, they're not in the way of anything. Because this house is very compact. It's not tiny by any means, but we have very little storage areas. Like, you know, most people have got a loft, so you can say, oh, put the Christmas decorations in the loft when you're done. But we haven't got that. We've got no loft, so we've just got boxes of decorations, and you need somewhere to put them. Gulp the tea or not. I hate doing that in front of people. Why hide? Because it's real family here. Gulp away. I can't. I don't know why. It's just, you know, It's like, you know, I was doing those shout out videos, right? And somebody put me onto a channel and said, you know, oh, shout out this lady, she's really great. And I don't know, I've just picked the worst video I could find for her, I suppose, because she said hello or something. And then she just promptly went, and I thought, I'm not going to shout you out. I can't do that. You know, I mean, if I sniff, I feel really embarrassed. You know, I do a little sniff, but I could never sit there and do a big old sniffer in front of you. To me, it's kind of not, it's not etiquette. I'm a lady. I was trying my best to say that in such a way that I'm not a lady. I'm a lady, I am. You know, that sort of thing. But, you know, there are some things I do. Some things I find hard to do. You know, when you first meet a man, you know, when you're young and you meet a boyfriend, and they say, do you want to go out? For ages, you starve yourself because you don't want to see you eat, that sort of thing. It's very similar, isn't it? Don't like people seeing me gulp. I'll drink sip and I'll drink my tea, but seeing me sit there and glug, 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 have a good old glug back, it's a bit difficult. But yeah, in the end, you think, look, I'm going to have to eat in front of you or I'm going to die, basically. But at first, you don't really want them to see you chopping. Bumping your gums. It is weird though, isn't it? Especially when you're young. You're full of these like farty ways that you go, oh no, I can't bear him to see me eat. Oh no, I'm not taking off my coat, he'll see my fat. You know, that sort of stuff. But yeah. I was never like that with Gary. It was like, you know, when you go and meet someone and you don't want to take your clothes off in front of them. Because let's face it, we've all been better. Some of us maybe have got better as they got older, but you know, most of us see better days. But no, with Gary, I just thought, fling it all off. I don't care. I don't know why. Just felt so felt at ease. Thankfully, he didn't throw up and push me out the house. Oh dear, I'm supposed to be talking about yarn. Well, I guess not. It's just, you know, yakking away about anything, isn't it, really? Let's see what I'm missing. Hi, Hannah. You picked the right time to come in. Linda, hello. Linda, I'm not forgetting your happy mail. Your prize. It was sitting over there. Do you know what? It was sitting over there behind the door for ages. And I chucked everything out of here at one point, took it into the yarn van, and I can't find it now. But as soon as I locate that, it's not lost forever. It's just I don't know where it is. But I'm going to sort the yarn van out. I'm going to spend a couple of days out there. I might have to make less videos, but I will be out there sorting it out because I'm fed up with having to try and find stuff. I was searching high and low today for a ball of yarn. One ball. You know, that was it. Someone ordered a ball of Aran, a more Aran in Pebble. Oh, do you think I could find that ball? Because it was one I had left over. I can find it. So I looked through the whole of them boxes, every single one of them twice. I found it in the end. But it was in one of the first ones I looked in. But yeah, and I thought this isn't on. I need to like maybe go through these and label them and do all the stuff that I should have done ages ago. So I am going to go out there and sort the whole place out. And when I do, I find it and I will get it off to you. You've made them from patterns from Ravelry and they state the size. There are also tutorials on YouTube. Trisha's Homemade Creations has lots on her channel. I've got fibres up my nose again, sorry. Christina, hi. In the ads. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You don't try to please anybody, would be same here. Yeah, me too. I'm kind of, you know, I am what I am. I am my own special creation. So I've got to get the fibres from my nose. It's not snot, honestly. I just try to get these fibres off. They're so annoying. Charlie, I know what you mean. I felt so kind of at home with Gary. I burp and fart away, but he was, whenever I burp, you see his face. It's like this. It screws right up. It's like, you're meant to be a lady. Even the Queen does it, so I am. She has to, or she would explode. Obviously, she wouldn't anymore because she's passed away, but that's what I used to say. Hi, Truly Amazing. Oh, thanks, Linda, but I will get it off to you as soon as I possibly can. I know you didn't even know you won it, but, you know, I will get it off. I don't like being behind. Use bins, totes, and attach QR codes so that you know what's inside the bins. Oh, I just need, mine are see-through, but I do need, what it is, I've brought some stuff in the past, done it as a yarn of the week. And instead of putting it back where it belongs, I'll take it out there and I think, oh, that one's not got much in it. And I'll put it in there. So then when it gets ordered and I go for the bin that's got, say, the Amore Aran in it, and then I look and why is that one not in there? And oh, it's because you put it in the wrong place, haven't you? So I need to go through them and just, and there was times when I first started ordering stuff that I would put, say, Special Aran, Soulcraft Special Aran. It took up so many bins, but then I'd have like 2 packs left over. So it had to go in with something else. And then as I sold Special Aran, it could actually go in the Special Aran bin. So I just need to sort it all out because it's a right mess in there. It is. What have you missed? Oh, oh, you're talking about the rings. That's cool. Hers are gorgeous. And I did show them when she first sent them to me, but you never know, I might get some more. Woo! Ah, right. More fibres up my nose. I have to keep my eye on the time because we haven't eaten yet. And my tummy is now starting to tell me that I haven't eaten yet. And I know Gary hasn't. And he did say he wanted to eat later on. But I can't for the life of me see. It's nearly, it's 6:15. So we've got a little while. But I don't think I'm going to get the whole way round. Probably because I've been chatting a lot, you know. Been jawing, as my mother would have called it. Jawing. Talking the hind leg of a donkey was another one of her sayings. I've turned into my mother, I must admit. Quite a bit. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, I had a bit of a landslide in the bedroom earlier. For those of you who've just joined me, a cubby shelf like this, one of those units, fell off the wall. And the reason being it fell off the wall. Okay, I'm going to get to the end of this row and then that'll be the end of this colour, so that'll be cool. So yeah, Gary had put them all up in the bedroom, and I did show you all once upon a time all the yarn and everything that I used to have in the bedroom. But now they're all in the yarn van, those ones, except for one lot because it was spare. I'm going to take it out there now because I have a place for it. But at the time, I left it in the bedroom, so I put my makeup on it. And there was one that had like a little bit that had books on. But they were spare books for like notebooks. And then there was, tons of perfume. There's no smell in there, so obviously they've not broken, thank goodness. But all my perfumes are now probably on the floor. There was also one that had loads of makeup in it, which is probably all over the floor. So it's an absolute mess and needs sorting out big time now. So I don't know, maybe if I do put it in the yarn van, I won't have anywhere to put all that stuff. So I'll probably get him to put it back on the wall, but this time use much longer screws. And the reason he didn't use long screws then for that one is because it used to sit on top of another one. So that one was its support. But where he took the bottom ones out, that just left that one on the wall. And I left it there, but of course I should have said, well, make sure you put bigger screws in then, because, you know, it hasn't got that other one to support it anymore. But yeah, we will put it back maybe, because I did like having all those things on those shelves, I have to admit. But thankfully, I can't, when I walk in the bedroom, I can't say I've got a waft of Chanel No. 5 hitting me. So I don't think it's broken anything. But yeah, you'll have to put that back up. It would have been nice to take it in the yarn van. I've got some that are just a couple of cubbies, so I could do a little switcheroony and bring those in, and you could put those on the wall in there, and then take the whole big one out there for yarn. I'll see. I've actually got quite a lot of junk in here that needs homes. You know, it's not junk, it's perfume and things like that, but I don't really want it all over my dressing table, if you know what I mean. It was cool to have it in those cubbies, and I could always just grab one when I wanted it. Got a knot. It's gone. Thank goodness for that. The last thing I need is a bit of yarn bath. Yeah, don't forget the families. Thank you very much. Have you got the super energized time with keto? I think I'm getting there. I'm a bit manic at times, so I think that's what and I noticed the thirst has kicked in, so probably the evil breath, although Gary says he never notices that, so maybe it doesn't on me. But yeah, I noticed the thirst. I've got cotton mouth all the time. What's the most bougie posh yarn I've ever bought? Most. I have some expensive yarns, but they're not, you know, I've got some gigantic balls of Sirdar, which were really, really thick. And I was going to make myself a long cardigan, but I'm going to do it when I've lost weight. So I don't want to have like a big long cardigan that's not going to fit me when I've lost weight. So I guess that might be most expensive. I think it was about £20 for a ball, but they were gigantic balls. It wouldn't really hold that much though, because it was super chunky or chunky. But I really love the yarn that I love to look at are some of the, they're not like mega bucks, but the Red Heart Unforgettable, which is the same as the kind of Signet Boho Spirit, they're gorgeous. Some of those colours, the way they work together, they're just beautiful. And I've used to have one cubby that had all my Red Heart Unforgettable in it, but now I've moved them about, and I've got some beautiful ones that are all different browns and going into black, and then some that are just, oh, they're all just really dreamy. I love those colours, but I think it's difficult to say because I just love yarn. And those, I also love that really beautiful rainbow yarn that I bought that had the shimmer in it, and I made that wrap with that. And whenever I use that wrap, everyone says, oh, I love that. Have you done a tutorial for it, that one? And I haven't, because I kind of freestyled it, you know, just kind of did it as I went. And what I should have done was written it down as I went. And then I could have done a tutorial for it, because people keep asking me for that, and I never did it. But that, and I did get some pink and some blue as well, with the little shimmer, little sparkle in it. But I just love yarn, just love all of the yarn. And the trouble with it is I love it so much I don't use it. I just want to look at it, you know. And at the time I order it, I think, well, I can't wait to make something with that. And then I just look at it. So like this, for instance, Dayon sent me this, and isn't it gorgeous? Look at those colours. It is Super Saver. It's Red Heart Super Saver, but it's just really beautiful. It's got the most gorgeous shimmer. And I was looking at that earlier and I'm thinking, I really ought to make something with this. But what? And I don't need to spill on it, so I'll put it there. I'm nearly done. Where's my hook gone? I've only got this far to go, and then I'll finish the round. So yeah, it's hard to say, but I bet you've all bought some absolutely amazing yarns. I've just got to start using this stash because I need the space as well for new, you know. But I really did love the James C. Brett Northern Lights. It was beautiful to work with. It was roving, but it was also a little bit a little bit like it had a little tiny bit of fibre here and there, a little bit of white cotton hanging. It's real good texture. And it was sometimes when you work with a yarn, it kind of has, when you look at it, it has this really silky soft rope like texture, you know, that where you can really see the strands. And that was one of them. I loved it. And I've still got some of it, but it's discontinued. And then there was a Wendy one. It was called Noir. And I've got a few different colours in that. But I've got the real deep navy blue, lots of it. And I wanted to make something with it. And again, I'm not making it until I've lost weight. But I will definitely make myself something with that yarn. And they discontinued that, and I'm really, really hoping, because James C. Brett bought out Wendy, I'm hoping that they do something with that and bring it back, because they are starting to bring back a few more yarns now with Wendy, and I will check them out soon to see if I need to put an order in. But I need more space first. Once I've sold more yarn and I've got more space, then I can do it. What have I missed? Let's have a look. Oh, Marina's had to go. If you're still there, bye for now. You saw the knitting tutorial. What do I recommend, Julie? Oh, I recommend looking on eBay. Oh, seriously, I sell knitting needles, and I'm shooting myself in the foot really. But I recommend, if it was me, I'd be going on eBay and buying old ones, because I don't like the new points. But having said that, I do sell, and there's only a couple of sizes because I got them to try, and they're called Canina Swivel, and they are on a long thing, but they really do swivel, so it doesn't keep twisting up as you're going round. So I've got a couple of those of myself, and I bought extra I thought if I buy 2 lots of each, there's one's mine and one to sell, and just to see how they go. And they're really good. But I don't know, if the bamboo ones that I sell are clover, so they're obviously going to be good. But I've not used them myself because I've got kind of loads of knitting needles, if you know what I mean, that my mum gave me and left me. So that's what I've been using. And I don't knit that often, but I want to start doing a bit more. So doing the tutorials is really helping me out. Now, because a lot of crochet people are aficionados of crochet and they don't really like knitting infiltrating their crochet, my knitting tutorials are over on Hobby Rocks channel. So if you haven't already subscribed to Hobby Rocks as a channel, then please do head over there and give it a subscribe, and rock steady, because I'm trying to get that to 1,000. It's not far off at all. So yeah, I really do need to do that. So I'm not going to do any more of this today, but next time I'm on this colour. So this was gigantic, this ball, and it's really gone down quite a long way. So it's amazing how much I've used, because I didn't think I would, but because it's such a big blanket now, I've used quite a bit. So let's keep up with chat now. Where was I up to? Made a gorgeous scarf with Crystal's 3D stitch. There's a 3D stitch that's been knocking around for a long time. Oh, I rumbled then. And I was going to do something with it, like a blanket maybe, but I haven't. Am I allowed to do a tutorial on a pattern found in 1940s magazine that doesn't exist anymore? I'm not sure of the rules, but someone requested me to do it. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. What copyright is it? Has it got anything on there that's copyrighted? I always find that, you know, really, really old things, I think that you can. Hi, Diana. And Alison's back. I love the old ones you've been using. Your grandma had those. Well, the thing with them is, and I haven't got any knitting needles in here to show you, but my mum's ones, that where they were old, and it's not because they're old, they've gone blunt. They just don't have long points. And the way I hold my needles is the way she did. So we kind of tend to knit at the end of the needle. And knitting at the end of the needle is not good for those ones with the long point, because you're not knitting to the size of that needle, you're knitting the size of the point. So it's kind of, you're not going to get the right size, the right tension. So that's why I find the old ones are better for me. But if you're used to, and it depends how you knit. Some people knit just holding it like that, putting it in, yarning over, taking it off. But I'm kind of like with my fingers. So, yeah, I'd only go through the end, like the very end of it. Bamboo are brilliant, are they? Like I've got clover bamboo in all different sizes and different lengths. I stocked all the lengths and all the sizes. It depends what yarn you're using, and like with the crochet hooks. So if you're going to go for a DK one, then you're going to need sort of like 4s to 5s, I think, depending on the actual thickness of your yarn. So it can't, and I don't like them being too long. And I know that, you know, my mum used to make big pullovers and stuff, and she had these long needles. But for me, they dig in me. But the way I hold it, they kind of annoy me. They get in my way. So I like little needles. And I've actually got a pair that's this long for making scarves, because I didn't like having extra needle and I can just hold them. But you can get circular ones, so you can really negate that now. There's a lot more on the market. I've got all kinds in my shop, circulars, all kinds. But yeah, it just depends on your, it's with needles, it does depend on the size, like your yarn. But all the yarn bands tell you what knitting needles to use, more so than crochet. They don't always tell you the crochet hooks. You used to knit until you got into crochet. Crochet just grows so much quicker. That's why it's brilliant, isn't it? I know, it's just you want the yarn, but you don't want to use it because it's gone then. Silly, really, isn't it? You have your mum and your grandma's needles. Oh, wow. The trouble is, because I've got my mum's needles, they're not always the right size name. You know, they changed it. So if you got a 7, so I can look through my mum's knitting needles and I can find, say, size 7, and then I look for another size 7, and one's big fat and one is really thin, because they used to call them different numbers. But you get one of those sizes. I've got those in my shop as well, where you put it in and you can see what size the needle is. Then you're okay. Also just nervous. Never thought in a million years someone would ask me for a tutorial. You'd have to gain more courage and look into it more. I think you'll be all right with an older one. It's most things, the copyright isn't sort of, who owns it? They're probably dead, to be honest with you. But if it bothers you, you've only got to change it a little bit and it's not the same anymore. That's just a little tip for you. You don't like wood crochet hooks, always use steel knitting needles. I've never really been one to use wood, but it's not to say I can't, I've just not tried, really. I tried ones that came free in a magazine once, but they weren't really good quality, so it doesn't make any good comparison. Yeah, you could take it down, but you don't want to go through that if you've got to take it down. Like I said, if you just change something about it, change a couple of things, it's yours and it's not theirs. Bear with me a sec, I'll show you this yarn. I'm teaching you to be naughty, which is probably wrong of me, but change it, it's yours. So, is this the yarn that I had that was the same as the one that you made your Tunisian blanket with, if Julie's still here? Is it this one? Because that was one of my mandala. And these are the other roll with it's that I got at the same time as I got the other. Oh, yarn boobies, look. Yeah, these are the roll with it's, but the one that I really loved, I've got another one of these and another one of these. I think they're in the yarn van. But the one I liked was the rainbow one. It was absolutely amazing. Really, really gorgeous. So the other one that I've got that used to be there was this one. And let's see if I can see the name. Oh, yellow writing on a white background. Yeah, I'm not going to see that. This one is called something. Where did I put them? Where did I put that? Neckline. There we go. I have to put it on. This one's called Tranquil. That's Tranquil. This one's not Tranquil. It's Happy. That's Madonna Ballard's favourite, Happy. So it must have been one of those, because I think those are the only two that I've got. Liar. What's this one? This is sparkly. Serpents. Serpent? So it's got to be one of those, because those were the ones that lived that side over there. Let me have a little look-see. Oh, yes. She said yes. Your boobies. It's the Happy. Oh, okay. You have vintage crochet patterns, and you have some from the 40s. They got the old money prizes on it, yeah. My mum said something. Do you know what really annoys me, though? Years and years ago, when the kids were little, you used to do the old boot fair. You know, boot sales, where you take all your stuff and you sell it. And I'm not kidding you. I had great big pattern in ring binders in those things. And I had tons of them. Tons and tons of knitting patterns, crochet patterns, baby patterns, toddler patterns, adult patterns. I had masses of them. And someone came along and I just let them have them all for a £5. And I really regret it now, you know. And then I wanted to make something that was one of those patterns, and I looked forever to find it. And I probably paid more for that one pattern than I got for all of mine when I sold them. But I really thought I'd never touch them again. And I can't believe it now. When I look back on what patterns I had, you know, and I sold all my needles mostly and all my hooks, and had to go get them back, you know. Should never really get rid of stuff like that, but I did, and I hate it now. Might do a series on the 40s purses that you have. Something for me to think on. Nice to know others will be interested. What you should do, because did you ever watch things like Combat Dealers? And he did a whole thing on 40s fashions. And we have War and Peace and all those kind of things that we can go to in Kent. And people dress up in those fashions. And I often think, you know, I could sell 40s patterns and things like that if I amassed them and stuff like that. But no, I don't know. I think it's quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Everything comes back and not everything gets improved upon. So I think you'd do right to do it. I think it'd be good. And it's something I actually consider myself. Now, I don't know if you heard that. That was my stomach. That, if you heard it, was my stomach having a real big growl. So I'm going to go and get my chicken, and I will see you on the next one. And I'll see you tomorrow when I do my Rocks Chat. Thanks for watching. Bye for now, everyone. Love to all.